Hi, Facebook. We're live.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to the Caldwell Banker.
Wait.
Oh, no, not yet.
No, there's the Facebook intro.
Oh, the
and then
Facebook
there's the real money
This
intro.
is what happens when
no
you have
offense, Facebook.
newbies on the show.
Newbies in the driver's seat.
Well,
All
I
right.
haven't been on it since you did Facebook.
We ready to
Live,
rock?
so-
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Off the Rails without Tom, but Mark's here. And Nate Scott Ford is filling in.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Where are we, Nate Scott Ford?
Where we are today is at the Caldwell Banker Home Sale Reality.
See, I screwed it up for the first couple of times.
Homes are reality. Fail.
Let me Welcome to the Caldwell Banker Home Sale Realty Studios.
So, yeah, Tom's... What are we
doing
officially saying?
things.
He's at work today? Yeah, so he made me do this, so I'm a little miffed at Tom, but you know what? We're going to power through, and we're going to have a lot
You're
of
doing
fun.
fine. You're doing
A lot
fine.
of fun. So I have Tom's notes here, starting at the top. Again, this show is brought to you by Coldwell Banker Home Sale Realty. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, or maybe you're looking for a new career, you want to be a real estate agent,
Yeah.
go into people's houses and smell cookies.
Sweet.
Sounds like fun. Contact Roy. His address is roy@cbhsr.com or call him at 414-235-0763. He would love to be your go-to for all your real estate needs.
Sweet, sweet Roy.
Yeah. So I was kind of thinking on the note of, and our guest
Thanks for
today.
acknowledging me.
Yes, my wife, Susan Majeski.
I feel like there's a missed opportunity over here. Why don't we have a stand-up of Tom?
Hold
He could sit right there.
That would
Yeah.
be creepy. Don't do that. Oh, the Hulk Hogan?
There we go.
That could be Tom.
I thought you actually had a cutout of Tom.
Tom.
Jeff says that he messed up the intro as well. So don't worry.
Pressure's off.
All right. Now that I got my other wingman here. So I was thinking, Tom always does his articles, so I thought I'd find us some fun ones to talk about.
Nice.
Speaking of home sale realty, did you guys hear about the town in Georgia that's for sale?
What?
There's a town in Georgia, Toomsboro, Georgia, and they are putting it on the market for
The whole town.
the whole town for $1.7 million, which is less than a New York City apartment.
Yeah. That's or a place
What's
here in
wrong with
Milwaukee.
It is 40 acres of land, 36 pieces of property, houses, a restaurant, a syrup mill, an opera house,
What?
a bank, and more.
Which makes you think, what's wrong with it?
Yeah.
Well, I got some photos over here. It looks
Toomsboro.
like a pretty normal but oddly empty community.
Have you ever seen
That's
that
weird.
show Infested, where people move into what looks like a nice looking home, and then all of a sudden spiders start crawling out of the sink? That's what I feel like this is going to do.
That one house looked really tiny. Like, was this a cult, town community?
The cult moved out, and now the town is suffering.
Is this on an Indian burial ground?
Yeah, there's that. Like, did everybody leave?
Pet
for a
cemetery?
reason?
On the bright side, they moved the stones, but they didn't move the bodies. Boom, boom. So I couldn't figure out so the sales, are they just selling the property? Am I buying just a whole bunch of houses, or is this my little fiefdom? Am I going to be the king of Toomsboro? Like, am I buying the
Mayor
government?
forever.
Yeah.
If I had $2 million, I'd totally do it. I would totally go in there and why not?
Yeah, you could rename it Nate's Got Ford Town.
How long has it been for sale?
It's pretty doable if you get a collection of people and they all take out about $100,000 loan.
Boom.
Boom.
Yeah, well,
it's
wasn't
less
that-
than a regular house.
Because we watched that documentary, Wild Wild Country, where the Rajneeshis bought a ranch.
Yep.
And they tried to turn it into their own city. And they started butting heads with the neighboring municipality because it was a part of that. So, yeah, if I want to make the
that a
empire of Markville.
Are you
or
starting
whatever.
a cult? Is this what we're...
No, I want to have my own
Cult of
little
Mark.
Cult of Mark.
city where I'm the absolute monarch.
Everybody
So
has
the
to
cult
watch
of Mark.
Star Trek at certain times of the day, and
You know, the world would be a better place if everyone watched Star Trek at certain times. of
All
day.
the TVs turn on, and that's the only channel they get.
there's a big statue of Jean-Luc Picard in the middle of the square.
He's getting his own show. Did you hear about that?
I did
No.
hear about that.
What?
They
What
announced
kind of-
it that
It's a nice
it's in
building.
development, so we don't know anything about it, and it probably has no actual backstory at the moment. But a couple of weeks ago at Las Vegas, some Star Trek event, he came out and they announced it.
Is it going to
Just
be
a Jean-Luc Picard reality.
Is it has to do with Star Trek?
Yes.
Or- Okay.
Yeah, the people who are making the current Star Trek show, Star Trek Discovery, are making this, which makes me really, really not excited for it because I don't like the new Star Trek show.
You do
They're
not
going to make
like-
Jean-Luc Picard sexy.
Nice. He's always sexy. Come on.
Do you watch a lot of Star Trek?
A little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Which shows were you a big fan of?
I like Deep
Space Nine?
Nine
It's a
and
good one.
Next Generation and
Brilliant.
the
My
original
favorite.
and the original Star Trek. Yeah.
So you haven't seen the new show at all?
No.
It's
You know how the new movies are just action?
Yeah.
That's all this is.
I'd rather see Orville.
Orville's
Orville
a great
is
show.
so good.
Much
Oh my
closer
gosh.
to, and I'm not a Star Trek fan. But it seems to me that's much more closer to like William Shatner-esque.
Well, even
Star
like
Trek.
the Next Generation had, it's a lot of fun one-offs where they're actually laying out real societal issues in the guise of science fiction. Brilliant. But the new show is more like Walking Dead or Game of Thrones, where people just dying and things are blowing up and everyone should just go pew 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 pew.
And
pew,
no
pew.
Q, I bet.
Yeah.
No Q.
No Q.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Because John Delancey's still looking good, if you ask me. It's the actor who played Q.
Nerd.
He's a great character. He's a
Nerd.
great character.
That's why
The girl wearing the Zelda shirt just called me a nerd.
This is what I live with. Last night we had an opportunity to sit down and watch something. He's like, "Have I ever showed you the 30-minute fan-based Star Trek movie?" I'm like,
Oh no.
Prelude to Axanar?
"You have not."
Oh no.
And then he's like, and he clicked on it and
You should
goes,
have said
"A,"
yes.
and I went, "That's okay." And he took that as, "That's okay." What I really meant was, "No, thank you."
Yeah, yeah.
It's only 20 minutes. 21
See,
minutes.
Susan, your problem, your fail was you should have said, "Yeah, I've seen that movie." You know,
Yeah, you showed that
You
to
would have
me.
known I was
Yeah,
lying.
I've
yeah.
seen it like 5 times.
No, I wouldn't, because I'd have been like, oh, the one with Candyman and Starbuck. And all you have to go is, oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's all you have to say.
That's it. You got it.
So a couple of years ago, some guys got together and wanted to make this a Star Trek fan film. This was before the new Star Trek show came out.
Okay.
And they raised a ton of money on like Kickstarter or GoFundMe or something. So they were able to hire real actors. They hired the guy who played Candyman. I don't know his actual name. The actor.
Tony Todd.
Possibly. I don't know.
He's been in a lot of stuff.
He's been in a
Yeah.
ton of things, and the guy who was the original Starbuck in Battlestar Galactica. So it's like a 21-minute thing, but it looks great. The CG is solid, and it's mostly interviews where they recount the early days of the 4 Years' War.
I've seen worse acting.
No, it was actually pretty solid. But what I thought was funny is the new Star Trek show centered around a Federation Klingon war, and this Prelude to Axanar centered around the exact same thing, a Klingon Federation war. And the 30 minutes of Axanar is 10 times more engaging and interesting and way cooler than the entire first season of Star Trek Discovery. So there you go, universe. That's my advice, is go on YouTube and watch it for free.
Nice.
They got sued by CBS, so they can't sell it. All they can do is give it away for free.
All right.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a 90-minute thing, but the
Alas,
lawyer
we only
said
got 20 minutes of it.
it can be 30 minutes and it has to be free.
Tom made me watch at least part of the Wookiee Christmas special.
Oh, the Star Wars
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Christmas
Yeah,
special.
that's fun.
What'd you think of that one?
Whoever thought
was
that.
Yeah.
Creepy?
really bad.
You don't love the immersion of no subtitles. You're just dropped into the Wookiee world.
Yeah, no.
What I like.
But it was worth you at least seeing for a reference of
Yeah.
just how.
Hearing legends and tales about it.
Or how far Harrison Ford has come since having to be under contract to do something like that, since he makes an appearance.
Yeah, like he owed like a favor or something. Like
No, they were under contract when they first signed up
Oh,
for
wow.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
The idea was that they had to be, so they had to come back, not knowing what a success Star Wars was going to be. They had to come back for the Star Wars special.
Yeah, because that was the era of the holiday specials. Everyone was doing it, so it was not a big stretch.
It's hindsight 2020. Like
Yeah.
if we would have known, this would never have been made.
Well, the story I had heard, I first saw it on VHS tape that floated around my high school when I was in grade school, because this is before the internet. So how else do you see these things? But the story was George Lucas hated it so much that he tried to buy up every copy of it and destroy it. So there's no official copy of it, but there's one bootleg copy that has complete with random commercials from the VHS off the air recording right off the TV floating around that you could probably watch on YouTube or other
It's
various
all over the
internet
place now. I
websites.
mean,
yeah, it's
you got
anywhere.
internet, you can't get rid of it. It's on YouTube. It's on.
It will never go away.
No.
But it's got some. Luke Skywalker's there. Harrison Ford's there. Princess Leia shows up and she does her best with the material. She's probably the best part of the whole thing, the most convincing acting part. Because Harrison Ford just looks cantankerous, like he doesn't want to be there.
Shocking.
Cantankerous.
Well,
Love
if the
it.
audience doesn't want to be there, I'm sure Harrison Ford didn't want to be there. Because I can't imagine they took home much of a paycheck for that.
I have no idea how reimbursement works for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
For a TV special in the 70s.
TV, it's like pennies on the dollar, no overtime.
Nate, would you do a Christmas special?
Yes, I would.
All right, universe, GoFundMe.com. Let's make this happen.
Listen, I was on the Megatron at the Brewers game last night, and
awesome.
I was
really?
riding high for at least 15 minutes. You know,
What
What's
were you
that
doing?
story? Yeah.
Well, a friend of mine, roommate, or not roommate, a landlord, and another friend, Dan, and got some extra tickets and said, "You want to go to the game tonight?" Yeah, let's do it. So we had lunch at a fish fry at Klinger's, which is a great fish fry in Milwaukee. Then we went to the Brewers game, and they won, by the way. Very good
One
game.
drink led to another.
Yay.
Did you get on the kids camera?
Nope. We towards the ninth inning, a lot of people were leaving just to beat traffic and whatnot. So we went down further down the line just to get yeah, pretty much. And happened to be the camera guy was right there, and they were doing the Uptown Funk song.
Nice.
And so DW got up and just started having a dance off, and he was filming us, and it was on the big screen. And then, like after the game, hey, nice dancing! It's a dancing guy. We got pictures taken. And
I really wish they had video
Cross your
of that.
fingers that it goes viral. That's all
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
hope,
He
right?
doesn't have video. He just has pictures.
Well, someone had
Well,
to have filmed
yeah.
it.
I'm sure somebody did.
I don't suppose you know if it was on TV by any chance.
I have no idea.
And we
Oh.
might never.
But I did have like friends from like a long time ago and today that were in the crowd, and they did take pictures of it.
Nice.
Oh.
What else do we have going on for next week? We just started a contest, didn't we?
Oh, we're getting into that right now. All right. Off the Rails with Tom and Mark have decided to do Win a Date with comic Nate Ford.
I believe Tom phrased it, win a date with Nate.
And Win a Date with Nate.
It's very catchy.
Nate being me. That's me. You're wording. Sorry, ladies. So, anyways, they have a link on their website, I believe, and on Facebook, Off the Rails TM. Off the Rails TM, and you sign up. Don't forget to like the page Off the Rails TM or Comic Nate Ford or THT Comedy or The Braising Pan. And you will win a $50 gift certificate, which will be reservations at the Braising Pan restaurant, where there happens to be a comedy show at 8 p.m. starring the Hobbit Trail, a misguided comedy tour. But beforehand, you get to have a little dinner and a couple drinks with me and get to know me a little bit.
The idea is the $50 for you and the contest winner to have dinner?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Very cool. Or just $50 worth of drinks. It's really up to the winner.
Exactly. Yeah. It's up
You
to the
may
winner.
need $50 worth of drinks.
Yeah.
Right.
Who knows? Who knows? I mean, it could be, Jeff Kruger who wins. Who knows?
And that's at the Braising Pan?
Yeah, it's at
And
the
then you
Braising
will
Pan.
be later that night live at the Braising Pan?
Yeah, the comedy show there.
There
so,
you go.
Yeah.
Two birds, one stone. Dinner and a show right there with
And
the
it's
man.
a great show, guys.
And the Braising
wanna win
Pan,
this.
pan is really good. We've been there.
Yeah, we took
Yeah.
my
That's what you were
dad
saying.
there.
Yeah, it's my first time going to be there. So, yeah.
They had that purpley cabbage stuff that was delicious.
You shouldn't like cabbage, but they did something to it.
It's
I'm
like cinnamony
huh.
almost. I'm like, wow, this looks awful, but it tastes great. German
Highly
food.
recommend it.
So you recommend the purpley
The cabbage stuff.
Yeah. I don't know what, it's not pickled. What is it? I don't know.
I
Is
don't
it
know.
mold? Spiced mold?
It
Like-
might be, yeah. It's like mulling spices, kind of, yeah. So it kind of tasted like mulled wine. So.
Very interesting. Yeah. So again, if you go to the Facebook page, Off the Rails TM, there's a link to fill it out and get to know us and
And
whatnot.
stuff.
So Tom says it can be a date with just husband and wife. Bring someone. It doesn't have to be with you if you They're just coming out to see your show.
Yeah, true. Okay.
Oh, I thought they have to sit at a table with Nate for an hour.
I mean, they can.
I'm gonna have to make them do it. Like even if it's a couple,
would be the weirdest threesome ever.
So couples, let's do this.
Nate will be there. We're getting people out to see your show and to have some free dinner, drinks, whatever.
Or if the contest winner is the quiet type, they want to bring an emotional support friend. That's cool.
We have reservations for 6:00 for 2 people right now. I've got the $50 gift card. I think Nate's got it over there.
Yep, got it right here.
Yep. And the form to fill out, it's just your name and email address, and then like and share all those pages, and you'll get more odds to win. And we'll do a drawing probably at the end of the week.
I'm assuming that's going to be all you, Molly?
Yes.
Perfect. I love it.
Mark wants to do zero work.
Well...
Oh, we got some bumper stickers for the winners, too.
I've noticed that Tom has a tendency to do that, so I'm going to do that, too. I'm going to emulate Tom today.
The Braising Pan Restaurant and Bar, 1100 North Main Street, West Bend, Wisconsin, 53090.
Yep.
Phone number 262-334-9668. The show is Friday, September 21st. That is next Friday at 8 p.m. But you have reservations for dinner if you win at 6 p.m. before the show. Or you can use the $50 for drinks and then feed it to Nate Ford. And he will definitely be your date later that night. But yeah, so go to the Facebook page. Is there a link on the website?
There will
contest? Just go to the Facebook page, Off the Rails TM. Sign up. Let's do this. Get your friends to do it. Let's get weird. Let's do it.
Well,
let's get weird.
Speaking of drinks, I have another story.
What?
2.5 tons of grapes were stolen from a Virginia vineyard.
How many grapes is that? 2.5 tons?
It was $50,000 worth of profits.
Wow.
According to CNBC.com, David Dunkenberger said 6 to 8 people he said it would have taken 6 to 8 people 6 hours to pick through the grapes.
Which makes you think if they had that many grapes stolen, you kind of have to give props to the thieves.
Yeah,
the fact that they could harvest
together
in the middle of the night an entire grape field for some unknown reason. And that the owners were dumb enough to not. Well, I suppose if I owned a grape field, I wouldn't think it.
It's not going to have barbed wire fences around it or anything.
Now it's going to have like armed guards.
But you would think that they would have some sort of
towers and
animals. Animals get in. I know a lot of farmers have to keep eyes out on their fields, mostly because of animals. But in this case, it'd be humans.
Well, they took their time and they picked all the grapes, so it's not like they
weren't just
burned down the
like...
field or slashed and burned the whole thing. They literally just stole the grapes.
Ooh, I see a connection here. People are stealing the grapes. They're going to make their own wine. They're going to make $1.5 million. They're going to buy a town.
In Georgia.
It is all in the South. This is Virginia.
This is one big scheme. I like it.
I just want to have seen the farmer's face. Or what do you call it? Vineyard?
What's up?
Vintour. Yeah.
Vintour.
When he comes out and goes, wait. And just sees all of his field just empty.
They were here this morning.
Well, the article goes on to say how he doesn't know what they would even do with that because no vineyard is going to buy grapes that they don't know where they came from. Because
they don't freeze.
Winemakers are all about sourcing everything and saying, oh, well, these grapes are from California, blah, 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 blah. They're a special type of breed, blah, 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 blah. So if you just showed up with a flatbed full of grapes and said, hey, you buying? I don't think anyone's going to take you up on that.
Maybe they really like this vineyard's wine and they wanted to steal the grapes and make their own.
But wine is even more about the process too.
I've made wine at home. It's not hard, but it's very tedious. It takes a long time.
And you don't always get the best results.
And you don't know if it's crap until it's done. Because you can't really...
Months later.
It's all about sanitization. You don't want to let any microbes get in there. So you can't go dip in your whiskey thief or whatever they call it to sample it. Because it's going to taste like garbage for the first 2 years anyway. And B, you're just going to potentially contaminate it. And if something gets in there, it's going to taste like a wet cat. I've made many a jugs of wet cat wine.
Maybe they're having a really large soiree and they spent all their money on cheese and chairs. They just needed the grapes
to go with the cheese.
I've been told wine grapes aren't that great for eating.
Oh, yeah, that's
Probably
true.
Not.
That is true.
Yeah.
Who would want 2.5 tons of? Who would want 2.5 pounds?
Maybe it's just a really
grapes.
Good thief who hasn't figured out the payoff yet. Like they're just honing their craft.
They saw an opening. They took
had
it.
to have had a reason.
Organizing, working their team, getting their team all worked up. Say, okay, we're gonna start low. We're gonna start with grapes.
We think they're building up to an even bigger heist.
Yeah. So you got to get, you got to make
out,
your
Robert
team.
Mondavi.
Yeah, practice to like Ocean's 11.
Maybe
start with grapes.
Maybe it was a former vineyard worker that.
Or a competitor. Maybe it was a competitor.
But again, if it's a spite
That's
thing,
a good one.
I would just go in there and just like spray it with nasty chemicals or just cut everything down. It'd be way faster, way easier. That'd be a one-man job.
So maybe
did they find?
Yeah, but this sends a message. Not even your grapes are safe.
will be gone.
But like growing the vines is a huge pain in the butt. We have a grapevine growing in our backyard, and this year it produced 0 grapes. Mm-hmm. Because I did a lot of...
Like, that vine is an asshole. Like, it kills trees.
Yeah, it was killing one of our trees, so we had it cut back, and now I'm trying to contain it, but it was under so much stress this year, it produced nothing. So, we have that old chain link fence behind our garage that I got it to take, but it didn't grow any grapes this year.
No, because it's not killing anything. It's not happy. Unless it's killing
You need
trees.
to feed it.
The wine tastes better when it's
when there's been
a result of the
spilled.
death of a tree. Deer strangled up in the fence. Well, you're a hunter. I think you'd be all about that.
Children of the grapes.
No.
Speaking of hunting, is there any update on the bear tag? Did files go back up north?
Well, no, because we would go back on a weekend. We're not going. We might the weekend after. They're starting to get bear back in the trail cam. They're starting to filter back into their areas after the flooding. So I'm sure we will go back up for another weekend and try our luck again.
Okay.
And hopefully get something.
So I do want some bear meat.
I do too.
I'm curious what it tastes like.
I really do.
I just have this image of, like when you go to like a pig roast and there's a giant pig on a spit. Mm-hmm. I think of that as with a bear, a giant bear on the spit.
Big apple in his mouth.
Right.
No.
Singe off all that fur.
I've got the bare necessities, Mother Nature recipe.
Why would you singe off all the fur when you could make an awesome bearskin rug with it?
Well, they don't have real soft hair though. Like that's.
Yeah. Have you been on a bearskin rug?
I have.
Okay, where?
South Dakota.
When were you? Whose rug? What?
What man were you with?
You have feel the hair. It's real coarse.
Were you?
I've been all kinds of
naked
places.
on this bearskin rug?
How else do you sit on a bearskin rug?
No, the hair is coarse. It would wreck my delicate skin. It's not comfortable.
What, you never laid naked on a bearskin rug?
No, my family's not hunters or outdoorsy, so I never had access to a bearskin rug.
Mark's
Neither was mine.
Camp.
What?
But I've laid naked on a bearskin rug.
I haven't.
All right, well, we can
I'm
shift,
jealous. These
shift
two
gears a little bit.
lived
Talking
more.
about
Me and Burt Reynolds, we share this.
Oh my God!
God rest his soul.
Right?
So back to the delicious bear meat. Have you heard about the Impossible Burger?
No.
It is a vegetable burger that tastes just like. The pictures aren't loading. I'm not going to reload it because that might not load. But it looks just like a real burger. It tastes delicious. It even bleeds a little bit when you eat it.
What?
Like beet red, like from beets?
Yeah. Well, no, I don't know what they did, but it was made in a
beets.
lab. So this isn't like a tofu thing. This is like a science experiment.
Was this the lab human meat?
It's not meat. It's all vegetable.
Soylent Green.
The only downside is
There was a story about someone that was generating human meat in a
to
lab.
eat it.
Yeah.
Which that's
would
a
you
good
eat
idea.
human meat? Lab grown human meat, ethically clean.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'd
But
try
it starts with some. It starts with some kind of.
I might
cells
insist it
from-
be my own cells because then I would feel better about it.
You're eating your. I'm tasty.
Oh my
Well, you
God!
take a culture from wherever. I don't know. Maybe delicious thigh meat.
See, but that's the problem. Is that's where it starts. We're like, well, we'll produce it only in the lab. But then someone's
I
like,
am delicious.
that's expensive.
Right, and then they get a taste
I can
for
get
it.
it quicker.
Right. Once you
There
get
goes
a
the
taste
neighbor.
for it, it's like those tigers that once they get a taste for
Yeah.
people, and
It's like it's a lot of work to grow meat in the lab. Then you have to go to the store, got to buy it. They have to figure out how to market it. Where really, then you got the
Yeah.
cheap people who like,
So what's this Impossible Burger?
There we go. There's a picture of it.
It's like it's pink on the inside.
Well, yeah, a little raw. So it's made from vegetable. I've been told it's delicious, but the downside is it is probably even more unhealthy compared to a real burger because there's actually like pump it full of all the delicious saturated fats and grease and everything. So it tastes just as good as the real thing, but it's way worse for you.
So it's all manufactured fat and grease instead of
scientifically engineered fat and grease.
Who do you know that actually has eaten this that said this tastes good?
Just online testimonials.
The internet.
Where the internet would never lie.
Where? The lab.
And where do you have to go get them?
I believe you can buy them on the internet and have them shipped to you, frozen.
What can't you?
Yeah.
How much is this going to cost you?
Good question. I don't know. You want me to look it up?
Well, yeah, because if we could buy a pack of them, let's buy a pack of them.
Well, they're going to be crazy expensive.
Well, we can go in on it, buy a pack, and split it.
Well, it depends how crazy expensive we're talking about.
ImpossibleFoods.com.
We can have a cookout with fake meat.
Impossible Foods. So they've got more lab manufactured food than just the burgers? Oh,
I guess. Well, so Susan, you were a vegetarian for a while.
Like 10 years.
But it wasn't for ethical reasons you would get sick.
Correct.
Are you a vegetarian by any chance, Nathan?
I am not.
Okay.
Being a vegetarian sucks.
I know some vegetarians and vegans in my life, and most of them are ethically vegetarian. But it's also way healthier.
Ish.
So I don't know where the Impossible Burger falls because it's ethical, but it's crazy unhealthy.
The slogan on the website, The Impossible Burger, bite me now.
Find me nearby. Click that. I want to know where we can get these. They've made a bold statement. Oh, it's the South.
I don't understand. Why?
It's that story about Yul Brynner.
Oh, okay.
You know, there's a runner that, whatever the name is, runs every day, exercises, vegetarian, eats healthy, dies of a heart attack.
There you go.
Yul Brynner smoked cigars, drank whiskey, had sex with a lot of women.
Yeah.
Had a heart attack and died. Who lived more?
That is true.
I think Yul Brynner lived, you know? And that's you know...
That is a good point.
For me, like, I've cut down a lot of junk food and stuff like that, and cut out a lot of soda and try to, you know, stick around for a little longer. But I just have fun, you know?
Yeah.
Live your life the way you want.
The only reason I would go vegetarian is if it was doctor's orders, if it was health reasons. My family has a history of high blood pressure, so that could be a thing. I don't know. But
I mean,
I don't know. Go ahead.
I can understand the vegetarian, like, I like meat too much. But there's lots of healthy, good tasting things you can do with, you know,
tofu?
Vegetarian. You actually can make tofu taste good. My sister was a vegetarian for quite a while.
You can deep fry it.
Yeah.
I was at the Vietnamese place in Cedarburg. We ordered deep fried tofu.
Yeah.
See, I'm not against, there's a place called Green Owl, I think, in Madison or something else. And because my road partner and other comic, Brent O'Day, dated a gal who was an oval pescatarian.
Oh, God.
What is that?
It's like a vegan,
very specific.
Yeah, it's very not like vegan Nazi, but kind
like
of
moderate vegan Nazi.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
They'll do fish.
Yeah,
but they won't do any like animals that have been enslaved or something like that.
Yeah.
I've heard of pescatarians, but
and so
do they have honey?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I don't know.
Well, that's where it gets all weird.
Yeah,
like
there's levels
product.
of
there's like an ethicness to it about like
the ethical. I don't want to steal from the animals or whatever.
Yeah, but so we'll go to. We went to a couple of vegetarian restaurants just to appease her and the one in Madison. You know what? Not bad. Like so I'm not opposed to it. I just I like meat. I like bacon. Like I can't.
I would not be able to live without bacon. I've tried some of the bacon substitute, like the vegetarian bacon, and it's
good, but it's not bacon.
No, it's not good.
Bacon wrapped.
The one that I had was not good. It didn't taste like bacon at all. When
Susan
you want
can't have bacon.
It wasn't the right texture. I know.
Can't eat bacon.
It makes her sick.
Even if you don't tell her and sneak it in there, she'll get sick. So it's not in her head.
It's terrible.
It's
like the best.
Is it just like the protein, or what is it?
I think it's the grease.
I don't know.
Grease?
I get like within 15 minutes, I get instantly sick.
Because we went to a restaurant once and she ordered mac and
On a
cheese.
date.
Unbeknownst,
Poor
when
Mark
we were
felt
dating,
like a jerk.
Unbeknownst to us, there was bacon fat in the mac and cheese and sauce, and it wasn't on the menu. We didn't know.
Where's this restaurant at?
That was at the Cheesecake Factory.
Yep.
In Bayshore. Speaking of Bayshore, apparently this Bar Louie has the Impossible Burger.
The Bar Louie at Bayshore?
Okay.
That's what the ImpossibleFoods.com website has when I just entered in our zip code.
Go to Bayshore and get your lab manufactured veggie meat.
Can you order it? I want to know if I can order it so we can have a
And how much
cookout.
does it cost?
Yeah, because that would be Tom and Mark can have a cookout with the Impossible Burger. Or we can feed it to Tom and not tell him if he hasn't seen this.
We could all sit around and stare him as he eats the burger.
He's watching. He said meat is for winners.
This looks like it's all propaganda.
How are we doing so far, Tom? You happy with this?
Why the hell did you talk about Star Trek for so long?
No, deal with it.
Awesome. You guys are a bunch of weirdos.
I think we're doing fine. I think.
Yeah.
What is that bun in that picture? It looks like
an English muffin.
Yeah, that's not right.
It's probably a
It's
vegan
like
bun, if that's a thing.
Looks like a potato.
That's what you get for lab results, right there. That's what you get.
Ooh, that looks good.
Breakfast
It
sandwiches.
does look good.
Ooh,
Or do they do pizza?
But, yeah, why not? It's meat, right?
What is the little girl eating? It's like an empada or something.
Empanada.
Empanada.
It might be a pierogi of some sort.
Ooh, a pierogi.
Or a hot pocket.
Well, she looks just blown away by it. So
Well, she's a ginger.
Now
so
you owe
they
Jim
always look like
Gaffigan
that.
$50.
Yeah, I do.
He's coming to the Fight
Tom
Surf
says,
Forum.
It's
everybody.
going great. One day in the long, long future, Nate will get the read right.
You
I wouldn't
know,
have it any other way.
you get what you get.
you could join their mailing list and say, hey, we've got a podcast. If you send us a free case, we'll promote you on our podcast.
Maybe we'll review it.
You don't have to like it to promote it.
Hey, Impossible.
Well, we already have promoted
Check it
it.
out.
Reach on out. Break into the Wisconsin market.
Is it impossible to help out a podcast in Grafton, Wisconsin? I don't think so.
Little
Impossible.
quid pro quo. All right, so another news story I saw that I kind of already ran by Susan a little bit. Where did it go here?
By the way, I've always had an idea for a podcast, but it's slowly based just on restaurants giving me food. Like I taste it on air or whatever, and
Right.
and give my natural feedback to whatever is placed in front of me.
Like the Anthony Bourdain or whatever.
Yeah.
The no reservations.
Yeah.
Wasn't there another guy, though, who is a little bit more adventurous?
Well, yeah, there's always the
Bald.
extreme eater.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
the heck is
yeah.
his name?
Zimmerman.
Yeah,
Zimmerman.
Andrew Zimmer.
When
Zimmerman?
Alex was the co-host, I remember telling Tom that the two of them should review like food trucks and stuff because Alex ran a kitchen, so he's got like the industrial or the commercial experience of working in a restaurant. So he might be a good food critic.
Yep.
On top of Tom, who just loves meat. So
I love food too.
But I think it also helps, like
food.
especially like in local restaurants, that it helps promote their business too and gets people involved with that.
Right.
Even if I didn't like the person didn't like it, I think it still adds a
Let's
little.
wander.
Let's
so you
get that
eat
going.
something,
You
and
can do a food review segment.
and it totally just sucks. And
I
then
would have
you
to
go on and you go, that was the worst thing I've ever eaten.
I would have to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Find a
local.
silver lining.
You could have destroyed their business in one fell swoop.
Well, but you can
The
always
guilt.
say it's,
Not everything is perfect,
right.
This is true.
and they have to sign a waiver. Like, hey, I may not like this,
Right.
and I may give my opinion on
brutal
it.
honesty.
Yeah.
Well, when we first, earlier this summer, I was talking with Tom about we were going to review all the bands that played at Summer Sounds in Cedarburg. And then I joked, if we don't like the band, if they sucked, we just won't talk about it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to go burning bridges. And who knows, maybe that band goes on to be the next big country hit and
I don't know.
They blackball us forever.
I think you can be a little bit more critical on the Summer Sounds bands because there was a few that fell flat, I felt, this year. And I felt we're only capitalizing on certain names they were connected with. But other than that,
I think we're missing that critical aspect in our lives today. We're so worried about if we're offending or affecting or it's like, no, we have opinions. We're human. It's not like yeah, I don't like Coke. Sorry, it happens. Like I don't.
Not a big fan of cocaine, huh?
Yeah. Like no, like I just stay up longer and drink more. That's all I know. It's not fun. No, it's like, oh my God, how could you say that about that place? I just don't like it. I'm sorry.
The burger was dry. There, I said it.
They're like, oh no, it's gonna you're gonna hurt their feelings. Who gives a shit? Like,
sometimes restaurants need to die. Like we watch any Gordon Ramsay show. Right now he has Hell and Back or whatever it's called. Where in 24 hours he tries to turn around a restaurant. And you go into some of these and it's just like, maybe this restaurant should just fail.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to not give a shit.
Plus, maybe they need the negative criticism. If there's something that needs to change and people are too afraid to give them the negative feedback and they think that everything's going fine.
Now, that's reality TV, so there's a lot of producers involved and a lot of manipulation to make it watchable.
No, I understand with that. But that's
well,
they take the worst case like restaurants and they blow them up. I'm convinced that even that like bar rescue show, they blow up those situations and tell them to get into like more fights and just cause drama. Just for the show.
I have actually been told that the Gordon Ramsay show that they actually downplay it because some of the stuff could then close down, like really close down.
Some of the violations.
Yeah, because usually with the Gordon Ramsay stuff, it's not so much about the fights. It's literally you watch rats crawl across the floor and he goes, "Yeah, we got to fix that." But there was one like that. There was another one where it's just it's all about being clean and being organized. But he's walked out of places. There was a huge YouTube viral thing because the people were absolutely so crazy that he's like, I can't even do it.
All they did was snap at their customers and they wouldn't take any.
Well,
advice
they were
Gordon
crazy.
Jack in the Box from the restaurant, fast food restaurant, Jack in the Box. Like 20 years ago, they had a outbreak of E. coli, and so after that, they were the cleanest restaurant, the best restaurant in town, like in Boise, anyways, and just because they got their act together. Because once you have a scare, boom. You got to get back on track.
Didn't Chipotle have that a while back? Yeah, and it's the same thing now. Like they had to change their standards of what their franchise people can do and can't do.
Now, have you been to any McDonald's in Milwaukee or the Mequon Road? Have you been to that one? Mm-hmm. Holy crap. So right now they don't have the restaurants open. They have porta potties outside of it. Sometimes they're not even open because they can't get people to work there.
I've heard about that. Yeah, McDonald's has to pay like $15 an hour just to get people in the door.
Yeah. And then there's an element where it's in Mequon, so you're going to get a lot of white people.
A lot of yuppies.
They don't like to serve white people. It's a really crazy environment. It's like, you're McDonald's. I'm sorry. Yes, it's a crappy fast food restaurant job, but it pays, and you get benefits that some people do not get.
It's a starter job. We've all had jobs like that. I used to work at a pizza place. Worked there for years.
And that's why I'm against the $20 an hour. It is a starter. It's a high school job. If you're still there at 80,
wait, $20 an hour?
Yeah, that's what they want. They want $20 an hour. That's what they've been protesting against.
There are places all over the place that don't even that start at like $13 for way more work than working at McDonald's.
Well, McDonald's.
I understand, Molly, where you're coming from.
You're not going to go anywhere and start a job, no education. Find a job for $20 to start.
But that's what they want because that's what the world was. That's what they think the world is giving them.
But there's enough of them that they can they're basically boycotting these jobs. So there's no one working.
Hell, I'll work at McDonald's for $20,
right? That's what I was thinking.
But McDonald's is now like it's happening like in Japan and in China. It's all self-serve.
Yeah, the touch screens.
Yeah, it's all that. They're bringing that to the United States. Yeah, you can have your $20. Oh yeah, by the way,
we're only going to hire
we need one person in the restaurant
to run it.
We're going to need an IT team.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, you can't. It's I don't know. Like
I might end up working at McDonald's. There we go. I'll fix the computers.
Same way with like Uber drivers. Like they're coming up with autonomous cars now.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of legal questions about that too. Like all the
That's
taxi
weird.
companies and stuff are trying to get Uber banned in certain areas and things like that. It's ridiculous. Have you ever been in an Uber? You've driven for Uber.
Yeah.
What's that like?
It's horrible. Okay. I'm sorry, Uber. No, it's fantastic. It's great.
Is it worth your time?
I debate that every night. If you're looking for it as a career, I say no. Don't do that. Do it as you want to make a little extra cash on the weekends or whatnot.
So what's a good take for one job? $20?
It's roughly about $6 an hour.
Okay.
That is not including gas, insurance, wear and tear of the car, your personal sanity.
Uh,
Do you get
go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to ask you get compensated for the gas, or it's just $6 and that is supposed to compensate you for your time and gas and really?
Because some rides are because they take a percentage of each ride. Let's say if it's a $6 ride, you get about $3.37 of it, and that's most, especially like downtown Milwaukee, a lot of small rides from a hotel to a restaurant, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But then sometimes you'll get a $18 ride out to Wauwatosa or to Mequon or to Economowalk. The longest run I did was to Chicago at the O'Hare Airport. It was about maybe like $140 for them, the rider to pay, and I got about $80 of it. But that's all. But that's only
to cover your gas and everything.
You got to drive your ass back to Milwaukee.
Yeah, that only covers two there, pretty much. That you don't get paid on the way back.
So the idea is maybe that you would pick up someone down there and bring.
You can't pick anybody outside of Wisconsin.
Oh, that's
if you're an Uber in Wisconsin or an Uber in Illinois, once you get across the border, you can start picking up people.
That's where I think it doesn't pay off, right? Because if you're driving someone there, you should have the right to pick someone up and drive someone back if they're not paying you for your ride back.
Yeah.
Do people ever tip?
Like I'm driving a Prius, so people think that's great gas mileage, and that's just. I mean, it's not like they think of it. It's subconsciously they know it's like, he's got great gas mileage.
This guy's doing fine. He's got a Prius.
Yeah. And like I'm sort of running a joke about this. It's like my only advice to riders is don't be a dick to the Uber driver. You know, like you're rude to somebody like at a restaurant and they'll like spit in your food, and stuff like that, or pubic hair in the steak or whatever. Like they do that. You're being rude to a guy that's behind a wheel that's driving you. We're on a bridge. I don't care about my life. What makes you think I'm going to care about your life? We're going over this bridge right now.
So what kind of standards does Uber have for what your car looks like? I've heard they're very picky about what car you drive.
It's got to be a 4-door, presentable, clean.
No duct tape on the seats.
Not my car.
Now, Lyft is a different story. I don't drive Lyft, but I've seen a lot of like
questionable
cars and drivers like with Lyft, you can have a license plate from a different state, a driver's license from a different state, and an insurance from a different state, and
interesting,
and do whatever. But
now, could you work for both?
You can do both if you wanted to. Yeah.
I suppose that'd double your odds.
It would let you shop for who you want to pick up. You could check both. This one will pay $10. That one wants $8.
But yeah, I mean, if you're looking for like a side hustle,
milk money,
beer money, or whatever,
Just stay-at-home dad that works 3 nights a week and could pick up some here and there.
Yeah, Mark.
And you can choose and pick your hours. It's really, you can not do it for a month and then pick it up another month. And
all right, cool. So we had touched on music there for a short period. You're wearing a Here Come the Mummies t-shirt.
Hell yeah, I am.
I haven't really been able to talk about Summer Sounds. Are there any highlights you want to discuss on the show?
Here Come the Mummies.
Here Come the Mummies were awesome.
I was pumped. So at the beginning of Summer Sounds, we missed it last year, so I was really excited.
Yeah.
They bring in decent bands in Cedarburg. And I've been to a couple other music in the parks, and either you have to pay for it or it just, the bands aren't as good.
Or you can't bring in your own beer.
Yeah, and Cedarburg's great for, it's free, and the bands are usually pretty good. And they,
so you get what you paid for.
You do, exactly. These guys, when I first was like, okay, this is going to be a gimmick. It's got to be a gimmick, because I looked at pictures of them. They literally dress like mummies. They go on stage. They have all kinds of like laser stuff, and
their stagehands are dressed like little Anubises, the Egyptian god.
They got lasers.
They got lasers.
They had metal grinders, and they were grinding away at metal on stage
to the beat of the music.
Everywhere.
No, they were everything I hoped and more. So I am a fan for life. No, probably hands down the best Summer Sounds concert I've seen to date.
And when they introed, they basically just started playing and marching through the crowd and marched towards the stage.
Big
and got
band
up on stage.
Instruments.
So out of nowhere, you start hearing music, and then you see them just working the crowd. It was awesome.
Although that circus band that you missed last year was something too. They
circus band.
Well, they had it was a band, but they also had people on stilts walking through the crowds, and they had a trapeze person, and they had someone doing the silks, and they had someone with the hula hoops. It was a show and a concert at the same time. It was spectacular. I don't remember the name of the band, but they were very good.
2 years ago, it was being brained out, and we went down anyway. And it was these guys from
New Orleans.
And they were basically, they have parades all the time in New Orleans for no reason. These guys were pretty much a parade float unto themselves.
Yeah.
They had giant peacock, literally like peacock feather things set up, and like bright orange Indian headdress. Yeah.
They were not good.
I love that. Oh,
I was going to say, we got free wine out of it because we were one of like 6 people in the crowd that night.
Yeah, they performed. I was impressed. I'm always impressed when a band will come out to like a dozen people and still rock.
Yeah.
I mean, they get paid either way, so you have nothing to lose by just going out there and just having a dress rehearsal.
Yeah, there you go.
What kind of genre of music is the Here Comes the Mummies?
I would liken them to George Clinton.
Okay.
And they don't introduce themselves because the running legend is that these are all studio guys under contract, so they can't actually tour underneath their names.
Oh, okay.
So hence
the mummy
costumes. But listening to them, I swear I've heard them before, because I went and I saw George Clinton's grandson a couple of years ago, because he basically took over for George Clinton. And George Clinton might sometimes wander on the stage and wander off, but sounded exactly like them. Like, kind of wonder if they're George Clinton's band. But same sound, same type of like real out there, outrageous music, and that was good.
Yeah, highly themed and great music, well delivered.
I love that we're touting the Summer Sounds, and it's over for the season.
It's over. Yeah,
this is preparing for next season.
Yeah,
it's over.
Well, we'll be there next year. So,
have you heard of Greta Van Fleet?
I've heard the name.
Phenomenal. O'Day just got me into it. It's they're young, like I think 21, 18, maybe a little older now, since they first started. But the kid sounds like Led Zeppelin.
Nice.
Oh, very good.
It's insane. The music just perfect, but it's their own songs. But he just sounds.
Are they kind of in the style of Led Zeppelin?
Yeah, in a way. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Are they local or?
No, they're from Michigan. They started
local.
They started in Michigan.
Nice Midwestern boys.
And so, but they travel the country now and Europe tours and just it's insane.
Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, hopefully they'll be in the area at some point, and we'll be able to see them.
Summer Sounds next year.
Yeah, that's right.
Who knows?
Get them.
Need to influence the music for Summer Sounds. There was only one band that I felt fell super short this year, and I was really disappointed. I'm like, didn't you listen to these people before? And I mean, I feel like you can criticize, as we were saying. It was Willie Nelson's granddaughter. Sorry, she was not good. Her vocals weren't there. Her band was great. But she brought up Willie Nelson, I think, every 5 minutes.
Well, to be fair, I would do that if I was Willie Nelson's grandson.
Sorry, not sorry.
When my grandpa, Willie, yes, we know.
In case you guys didn't know.
Understand.
He says this is his favorite song that I wrote. This is his favorite song. Willie Nelson, favorite song that I wrote. Was not good.
Like there's a debate in stand-up comedy of are women funny or not, and I do believe that women are funny, but that goes to the point of Don Rickles' daughter, who is doing comedy. Horrible, but trading off on Don Rickles' name.
That's more the coattails than it is
right.
anything else.
I mean, anyone could do that and be terrible.
Richard Pryor's daughter is doing stand-up comedy, and it's like, man. But, she'll bump an actual working hard comic from a week of work because she's
got an
instant headliner status. Yeah.
So. I've been watching America's Got Talent. I'm one of those people. But there is a female comic on there right now.
She's good.
Who's really freaking funny.
She's like
hilarious.
The Trailer Trash Mom.
She's cute. She's like
Vicky Barbalak.
Yeah,
but all her intros are she's driving around her trailer park in Malibu. And she keeps saying, "Oh yeah, someday I'll have a trailer park in Hollywood." And I could see her having like her own little Reno 911 show on Comedy Central. Like she's the funniest woman who I've seen in a really long time. And I think you're right. Women can be funny, but sometimes I feel like they have the pressure to try to compete with a different type of humor, so they end up going a little bit too. Trying to find a good way to put this. Almost too crude to the fact that it's like. It's not
needlessly
funny. Needlessly crude. It's not funny. So
apparently Mark is supposed to explain why men are funnier because of evolution.
Oh, yeah, Tom and I.
I think I discussed this at one point in time.
Yeah. Walk very very quietly.
It's your fault, women. I met Susan. Did I go over this with you as well?
I don't know. Maybe.
There's
I met
two of
Susan
us here. Be
on
careful.
a dating website. And I saw a lot of women's profiles, and highly listed on almost all of them is I want a man with a sense of humor, a man who makes me laugh. I also made a fake profile so I could see the competition and see what the fellas' profiles looked like. Almost never came up, comedy. So women, I think, have been selectively breeding men for thousands of years that make them laugh. They're the one, the funny guy is the one they are picking. So as a result, kind of like how men are taller because women like taller men, ergo over the generations, men get taller than women.
What? See, but I don't understand that logic because, okay, I pick a funny man.
Tell that to Tom
So you're
Cruise.
saying that my children then are going to get that funny gene or be funny.
Possibly it could be a behavioral thing. Maybe it's the dad joke that we all roll our eyes at but are hilarious and we all know it.
Right, and that's fine. But your explanation doesn't account for the fact that that couple, that pairing, is just as likely to have a female daughter as a son.
I think that the reason
women care more about humor in a mate than men do.
No, I think they don't want an asshole, which is...
There's other factors,
what's
too.
What's the opposite of an asshole?
I'm not saying this is the only thing.
Little looser, and they're funny because they're not being a jerk.
I'm saying it's something that's being evolutionarily selected for by women, and men aren't selecting it as much, so it doesn't come up as much.
I just think everybody has different tastes.
There's that, too. Everyone is different. There are a lot of funny
because there are some women who like jerks, who are attracted to jerks.
But if you ask them, they won't say they like a jerk.
Like all the women I went to high school with.
Wow, bitterness coming up from Mark.
Just out of curiosity, I'm always looking for new stand-up comedians. Can you recommend any female stand-up comics offhand?
Maria Bamford is a go-to. Kathleen Madigan, who's coming to Milwaukee, very funny.
I'm a big fan of Jen Kirkman. I think she's probably the best female comic for my money.
She's okay.
She's very nuanced, and that's very my style.
She's a part of a group that kind of emulates Sarah Silverman in a way.
Yeah, I could see that.
Which I'm a huge fan of Sarah Silverman. And there's female comics now trying to emulate like Amy Schumer, trying to go down her path, and which it's understandable, but it's what you're saying. Like sometimes you're just a little too crass for crass sake. There's no funny behind it. Mm-hmm. Shock value for just shock value's sake. It just and for me, like I have some crass jokes, but there's some underlining humor with it,
right.
And I think anything can be funny. You can write a joke about anything as long as it's funny. Mm-hmm. It's weird. Comedy's going in a very different direction right now. With Nanette's special on Netflix about personal feelings and deep, like this is a therapy session, to Drew Michaels, who has now a Showtime or HBO special, which he's not even in front of an audience. It's just him and his girlfriend and deep thoughts. And it's like, what? How is this stand up? Like, this is a one man show.
That's how I feel about Dane Cook. It's not funny. It's just stories.
Yeah.
And the stories might be somewhat entertaining, but I'm not laughing.
And again, comedy is very subjective.
Yes.
It's a very subjective source of entertainment. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I don't know. I
wonder if all the PC culture is going to kill stand-up comedy in the next couple of years, because there was that boom in the 80s, and the 90s were very kind of politically correct. I wonder if that was maybe a factor in the death of comedy in the 80s, and is it going to happen again now in the teens? So, I don't know.
Megan Gailey from Chicago, who now lives in LA, very funny female comic too.
Okay.
Just popped in my head.
Yeah, if she ever comes up in Milwaukee, let us know.
Yeah.
All right, Molly, what's our runtime?
We're close to an hour right now for the regular show.
And we really haven't even interviewed my wife.
Interview me about what?
Do you have any questions?
Do I have any questions for my wife?
Yeah.
Well, I was another topic I was thinking of bringing up was all the extreme weather that we've had lately. There's the hurricane. Has it been downgraded? Hurricane
It's
Florence?
a 3
I think
now.
So, yeah.
Okay.
But they're saying it's moving so
now.
slowly.
Is it a 2?
Yeah, actually, I think they even said that it should be at tropical storm-esque type level.
But there's been so many deaths.
3?
Well, I don't.
So many.
3?
So many more than 2.
Not that I could say,
But lots
that
of
is
damage.
3 people who. Yeah, the problem with this one is it's moving so slowly. I like extreme weather. I watch a lot of documentaries on extreme weather, as Mark knows.
Yeah.
There's so many people that stayed in their house and are having to be rescued and taking up people's rescue hours, and they knew this was coming. And they're saying, well, I didn't realize it was going to be this bad.
Well,
like,
every
I thought
year
they were
they
lying.
have hurricanes, and most of them are not that big. So it's like the boy the boy who cried wolf.
But
so now when the big ones do come around, they don't take it seriously.
It was a mandatory evacuation.
Right.
Like,
well,
it was
and that's where I feel like if you want to stay fine, you've made your decision, but then don't expect to be rescued, because you are putting other people in harm's way.
other people in danger having to come in.
And I was even joking with Susan this morning. If there is like a couple of feet of water, what's one person going to do? You're just watching your house at that point get flooded. If there's like an inch of water, you might be able to fight it. You might be able to throw in some sandbags and shop vac it up.
I think.
But once you're at the point where you're sitting on the roof because there's nowhere else to go,
Right.
There's nothing you could have done.
Well, I think there were people that were staying because, of their animals. But I heard that a lot of
their animals, not because they're animals.
Because they didn't want to leave their animals, or they didn't want to.
Yeah.
Like, I understand, but
they're filthy animals. Those people.
I heard that even like some of the inland hotels were being told that they had to accept like dogs, cats, whatever for this because of the situation, so that you can actually bring your dog and stay in a
I'm
hotel.
against that.
Well, and then they can get compensated afterwards for.
As someone who has a cat who is currently
damage.
trashing our house, probably as we speak, I would not want.
Our cat's not that bad.
He is the devil.
But I think the main issue is the farms and the farm animals. They had people that were like shaving and painting like their addresses and stuff into like the horses' sides, so that if they
got loose,
they could
I think farms are such a different situation.
Definitely.
But we were at Big Apple Bagels this morning, and there was a woman who felt very strongly on this topic as we were leaving, and she made sure the entire
bagel
restaurant
shop
knew that she thought that those assholes were just terrible human beings for staying, and this is your fault. But it's like, okay, you feel that way. We're in a
that doesn't
bagel
mean
shop,
terrible
person.
It could have been for any amount of reasons, and they could have.
She wasn't
it
actually
with
anybody there either. It was just her standing by the coffee,
customer.
just to the whole place. She was talking really loud and dropping swear words here and there. It's like, that's a lot of energy for 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah, well, as I was getting gas earlier this morning, the gas station I like to go to, there's a Planned Parenthood across the street,
Oh boy!
And they had protesters there, and then across the street were the
anti-protester protesters.
Yeah, it just anti-abortion protesters, just yelling back and forth, and some of them were singing. And it's like, oh god, I haven't had my coffee yet. You guys are just
you're all too much.
Could you please put away it's too early for the aborted fetuses pictures.
I've been told you catch a lot of flies with vinegar.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, if you're
put your naked babies away.
At least wait till 10 a.m. A normal time to protest.
Yeah.
Don't tell me when to protest.
It's like mowing the lawn. Don't be that guy who mows his lawn at 7 in the morning.
Be the guy who owns it at 10. Protest at 10 a.m.
Do you watch the Weather Channel at all?
Well, we cut
never.
the cable, so we have over-the-air television. But Susan watches any nature documentary. There's a Nova episode on tornadoes. I have to watch it.
The Weather Channel updates a lot of their weather shows. They put them on Hulu now. It's very exciting for me.
Because even the Weather Channel now kind of ramps up things.
You ever go to weatherchannel.com? The world is ending every week.
Well, there's a video that's on YouTube right now that just happened because of the hurricanes. There's a reporter for the weather,
is it Jim Cantori or James Cantori.
I don't know, but he's like he's like acting like he's being blown away.
Yeah,
and then there's two guys walking in the background normally.
Just do.
Well, I saw that. I loaded that up and I saw that GIF and I had music playing on in the back. I'm like, oh look, he's dancing to the music.
GIF.
GIF,
What's wrong
GIF,
with you?
They're both acceptable.
Oh, and also, you don't catch flies with vinegar. You catch flies with shit.
That was the joke.
Or honey.
Well, the cliche is you catch more flies with sugar than
with
honey
than
vinegar. So that was my joke, is the protesters are just...
No, I understand. Yeah. We had a comment that you catch flies with shit.
Who made that comment?
Is it Tom? Tom's supposed to be at work.
He is. He's on lunch.
He's on the roof with his phone, live tweeting. Well, I'm here putting food on the table. There's no food.
Proud of you. We all are.
So I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
What is Mark's deepest, darkest secret?
What is Mark's deepest, darkest secret? Does Mark have secrets?
No, I already outed myself as a Project Runway fan on the show.
Yeah,
he actually has hair.
Sometimes.
I got hair. I got hair like you wouldn't believe, lady.
Gross. I was going to say,
it meant on top of your head.
I am diversified is what I am.
I was going to say Project Runway. That kind of is he's a fan of Project Runway.
Are you sad that Heidi Klum and Tim Gunn are leaving?
They are?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not hear about that.
Oh.
We're watching it on Hulu, so we're behind.
I'm so sorry.
I'll probably stop, because Tim Gunn is the main reason why I watched
Mark
the show.
owns Tim Gunn's book,
his
by the
book
way.
is right behind
Designers.
That's right there.
Well, no, he has a great way of critiquing people where he's being helpful, and he's not just tearing them down like a lot of people just in the world do nowadays. They don't know how to give you constructive criticism. They just tell you what they hate. Whereas you watch him talking to these people, and he walks them through it and gets them to see that, oh, yes, this isn't working. I need to do something else, versus just shitting all over it, which is what the internet does. No offense, internet.
Whatever you trolls.
Yeah.
Bring it, trolls. Yeah, bring it.
Yeah, Tom trolling us from a rooftop.
Pretty sure like Mark's deepest, darkest secret is watching Project Runway while separating his whites from his darks.
Yeah. Doesn't everybody separate their laundry?
I don't.
That was a laundry thing, not a race thing.
I do not separate my laundry. It all goes in one thing, and I don't separate my socks.
Exactly.
My socks actually
Don't
match
you want to
today,
keep
which
your
is
whites
weird.
white and your brights bright?
No.
I wear
Black socks?
black socks.
So you don't
and
ever have
white socks.
I like my socks to match. Susan is a fellow non-sock
Yeah.
matcher. Let's see them. What do we got?
It's too much work.
We've got the Scream artwork.
Yeah, we've got
And we've got the
Rio.
Jesus in Rio.
Rio.
Yeah, mine actually
Yeah.
match today.
Is this
but-
quality entertainment, folks?
socks?
Sock alert, sock patrol.
Well, I put on the wrong socks, like running late for a show, and it was a great show. So I don't know if it's like superstitious, or just I just been wearing it for my daily life now. Just one black sock, one white sock.
So Tom's not on a roof. He's hanging soffit on a garage, and he's keeping an eye on the show. He's got his earphones in while he's working.
All right.
It's quality control right there.
Tom,
Man's keeping tabs on us.
you're getting sleepy, Tom. Very sleepy. Eyelids are closing. Listen to the sound of my voice, Tom.
I want to give Mark a raise.
Give Mark a raise.
You want to actually pay Mark.
So
I was going to say, you're getting paid?
Yeah, none of us are getting paid. This is a labor of love, internet.
and speaking of which,
But you could change that.
you out there in the world that's listening right now, you can go to their Patreon.
Yes, patreon.com/offtherailstm. Throw us a bone.
Throw
Help us
a dollar.
out. Support the show.
$2.50.
There are lots of
Put
ways.
in $150. As you can see, we need upgrades to the studio, upgrades to we need a new Hulk.
The mic stands are
Yeah, we need
starting
new
to
mic
crap out on
stands.
us.
We need new mic stands. So whatever you can give, that'll be great.
The more you guys donate, the more you could do fun promotional stuff too. Like win
Like Win a Date with Nate.
Win a day with Nate. Yay!
There are lots of ways to support the show. You could use our Amazon link on our website, Off the Rails TM, and anything you buy, then Amazon shares a proceeds of the sale with us.
Yep.
Or you could sign up for a free trial on Audible. Let's try it for a month, see if you like it, not have to pay a dime, and Audible will reward us if you use the offer code. Where is the offer code?
It's on the website.
It's on use the link on our website. Who needs offer codes?
Yep.
Just click the link on our website for a free trial at no cost to you, and you can help support the show.
Yay!
Tom says he could pay Mark or get Nate dates.
Nate can have dates.
I need a date. I'm lonely.
Get some spätzle and purple cabbage.
Purple cabbage. You gotta get the purple gerbil.
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know what they called it either, but it was delicious.
And that is the Braising Pan Restaurant and Bar.
Yes.
Friday night, September 21st. The show starts at 8 p.m.
Delicious German
But
cuisine.
if you
Reservation
win
for the winner is at
yeah,
6.
Yeah, the reservation for the winner is at 6 p.m. I hear they have amazing food, especially the green purple cabbage.
Purple. It's purple.
cabbage thing.
I believe last time I was there, I had the Jaeger Schnitzel,
Ooh.
which was delicious.
That sounds good.
It was a breaded, crusted, porky schnitzel thing.
That sounds good.
Did it have like a Jaeger flavor to it?
Jaeger means hunter in German, so no, it wasn't the shot.
Okay.
No,
All
it's
right.
Schnitzel.
I knew that.
it
I
was
was
a
testing you.
Pork tastes like black licorice.
Delicious.
Gross.
So,
Where else can we find you?
You can find me at any local grocery store. You can find me at Comic Nate Ford on Facebook or Twitter. Or you can follow the Hobbit Trail, a Misguided Comedy Tour at THT Comedy on Facebook, also Twitter. Or you can check out our 2013 website, thehobbittrail.com.
It's a good vintage.
Yeah, thehobbittrail.com.
Now, we didn't discuss
Yeah.
Susan's profession, but you are an artist. Do you have any sites you'd
anything
like to
going?
promote, like a Facebook page?
Oh gosh, I'm bad at that. Otherwise, drop by the Arts Mill It's in tandem with the studio that we're in now, North Shore Academy of the Arts, which is a nonprofit. There's a great show right now on the 3rd floor that combines art and poetry.
Ooh.
And there is a bar on the first floor.
There is a bar on the first floor.
You can get yourself a beer.
And they've got
walk
good
upstairs
stuff on draft.
and enjoy some culture.
Yep.
There's a bar downstairs?
There is.
Not here, at the
Arts Mill
shop. It's a block away.
Okay.
So this is the school. That's more of the professional brand.
That's the gallery
Yeah.
space.
We're good.
Sweet.
So, yeah. All right. I didn't read all the notes that Tom usually uses.
I think you pretty much covered
Yeah,
it.
Nate, do you want to go over the clipboard list?
Sure.
Do my readings that I usually do, and have fun with them. Make them your own.
Okay. We're having fun here. We are off the rails with Tom and Mark.
With Nate and Mark.
Nate and Mark today. But for the most part, it's Tom and Mark. And you can find us on Twitter at OffTheRailsTM, Facebook.com/OffTheRailsTM, Instagram, you guessed it, at OffTheRailsTM. Website.
What's it going to be?
YouMakeUsHorny.com. I kid.
.gov.
It's a nonprofit organization. It's OffTheRailsTM.com. You can also email us at OffTheRailsTM@gmail.com. You can send in questions for Tom. Ask Tom anything. I think he still does that.
Ask Tom anything 414@gmail.com.
Oh, wow. Okay. That
one's not on the list. I just have to know it.
You just have to know it. We're also on SoundCloud, YouTube, Stitcher, and all your favorite podcast hosting sites. See our website for more details and what's coming up next.
What is coming up next?
What? What am I supposed to say here?
I don't know. We don't have a script anymore.
Well, we're going to do a bonus episode.
We're going to try to do a bonus episode after this, but unfortunately, Susan has to take off because you have to pick up our baby.
We do, yeah.
Oh, man.
Babies. Always getting in the way.
Yeah.
Sorry for propagating humanity.
Which is why I'm here like once every 6 months now.
I know. We miss you.
I know. So, yeah.
So, yeah. Thank you, universe. And what does Tom always say?
We're not good
Tom's
enough.
not good enough.
Bye.
Perfect.